GPRS network operations. Once a GPRS mobile station is powered on, it introduces itself to the network by sending a GPRS attached request. Network access can be achieved from either the network side or the MS side of the network. In order to access the GPRS service, an MS needs to make its presence known to the network. This is done through a GPRS attach procedure. This operation establishes a logical link between the MS and the SGSN. GPRS attach procedure establishes a logical path between the MS and the SGSN. So SGSN stands for Serving GPRS Support Node. You can see the picture or architecture of a GPRS network here. In this PLMN, this is the mobile station and this is the SGSN serving GPRS support node, and this is the GGSN gateway GPRS support node, GGSN. So this GGSN connects the SGSN or mobile station to external packet data networks. The network checks if the MS is authorized to use the services. If so, it copies the user profile from the HLR to the SGSN and assigns a packet temporary mobile subscriber identity. In order to exchange data packets with the external PDNs after a successful GPRS attach, a mobile station must apply for an addressee. If the PDN is an IP network, it will request for an IP address. For a X25 network, it will ask for a X25 DTE address. DTE stands for Data Terminal Equipment Address. This address is called PDP, Packet Data Protocol Address. For each session, a PDP context is created. So the PDP context contains the PDP type like IPv4 and the PDP address assigned to the mobile station and the requested QoS. QoS stands for Quality of Service Parameters, and the address of the GGSN that will function as the access point to the PDN. This context is stored in the MS, the SGSN and the GGSN. So the PDP context contains the PDP type like IPv4 address, then the PDP address and the QoS parameters, etc. A user may have several simultaneous PDP contexts active at a given time. User data is transferred transparently between the MS and the external data network through GTP encapsulation and tunneling. User data can be compressed and encrypted for efficiency and reliability. The allocation of the PDP address can be static or dynamic. In case of static address, the network operator permanently assigns a PDP address to the user. The PDP address can be assigned by the home network or by the visited network. In case of dynamic PDP address assignment, the GGSN is responsible for the allocation and the activation or deactivation of the PDP address. Then next is the PDP context activation procedure. This figure shows the PDP context activation procedure. Using the message activate PDP context request, the MS informs the SGSN about the requested PDP context. The MS requests the SGSN to activate the PDP context. So for this purpose, this message activate PDP context request is sent from the MS to the SGSN. Normally this message contains the PDP type, PDP address, QoS, access point, etc. If the request is for dynamic PDP address assignment, the parameter PDP address will be left empty. That means this parameter PDP address. In following steps, security functions are performed. So the security functions like authentication, etc. are performed in this step. If authentication is successful, the SGSN will send a create PDP context request message to the GGSN. So you can see this is the create PDP context request. It is sent from the SGSN to the GGSN. The GGSN creates a new entry in its PDP context table, which enables the GGSN to route data packets between the SGSN and the external PDN. External PDN means that are the packet data networks in a different PLMN. The GGSN returns a confirmation message, create PDP context response. You can see this create PDP context response from the GGSN to SGSN. So this message contains the PDP address. The SGSN updates its PDP context table and confirms the activation of the new PDP context to the MS. So the SGSN will send the message activate PDP context except. The disconnection from the GPRS network is called GPRS detach. All the resources are released following a GPRS detach. Detach process can be initiated by the mobile station or by the network. So if we want to access the internet services through GPRS network, we have to attach the mobile station to the network. The detached process means the disconnection from the GPRS network. Then next topic is APN. We are familiar with the term APN or access point in mobile stations. GPRS or Edge Cellular Data Networks use a mechanism called an access point name or APN to determine how a mobile station communicates via the GPRS network to a host site. Host means a server machine. A mobile device connects to a GPRS network by setting up a PDP, Packet Data Protocol context. Following this, an access point name is chosen according to the settings in the mobile device and the SIM card. Next, the chosen APN is used to query the network operator's DNS server. This process gives the IP address of a GGSN, allowing the PDP connection to be activated. An APN provides routing information for SGSN and GGSN and defines how users can access the data network at that entry point, what IP addresses are assigned to the mobile station, what security methods are used. APNs are general purpose and are available to multiple customers or can be customized for particular customers to address unique requirements. The next is mobility management. Mobility management is used to track the location of a mobile station. GSNs communicate with each other to update the mobile station's location in the relevant registers. The mobile station's profiles are preserved in the VLRs that are accessible to SGSNs via the local MSC. A logical link is established and maintained between the mobile station and the SGSN at each PLMN. At the end of transmission or when a mobile station moves out of the area of a specific SGSN, the logical link is released and the resources associated with it can be reallocated. Figure shows an example of how packets are routed in GPRS. We can see two different PLMNs, PLMN1 and PLMN2. A mobile station MS resides in PLMN1 and a host machine or origin server machine is located in PLMN2. The server machine is connected to a router in its LAN network. We have another components like SGSN and GGSN in PLMN1. We have two SGSNs in PLMN1, and in PLMN2 we have one SGSN and GGSN, and also components like router gateway. The example assumes two intra-PLMN backbone networks of different PLMNs. Intra-PLMN backbone networks connect GSNs of the same PLMN. So intra-PLMN GPRS backbone in this picture connects GSNs of same network. In the diagram, these intra-PLMN networks are connected with an inter-PLMN backbone. Inter-PLMN GPRS backbone. An inter-PLMN backbone network connects GSNs of different PLMNs and operators. So here the inter-PLMN GPRS backbone connects PLMN1 and PLMN2, and intra-PLMN GPRS backbone connects the SGNs of same PLMN. We assume that the packet data network is an IP network. A GPRS mobile station located in PLMN1 sends IP packets to a host connected to the IP network. The SGSN that the mobile station is registered with encapsulates the IP packets coming from the mobile station. So this SGSN encapsulates the IP packets coming from the mobile station and examines the PDP context of the mobile station and routes them through the intra-PLMN GPRS backbone to the appropriate GGSN. So the data packets will coming to this GGSN of PLMN1. The GGSN decapsulates the packets and sends them out on the IP network, where IP routing mechanisms are used to transfer the packets to the access router of the destination network. The latter delivers the IP packets to the host. Let us assume the home PLMN of the mobile station is PLMN2. An IP address has been assigned to the mobile by the GGSN of PLMN2. Thus, the mobile station's IP address has the same network prefix as the IP address of the GGSN in PLMN2. The correspondent host is now sending IP packets to the MS. The packets are sent out onto the IP network and are routed to the GGSN of PLMN2. The latter queries the HLR and obtains the information that the MS is currently located in PLMN1. It encapsulates the incoming IP packets and tunnels them through the inter-PLMN GPRS backbone to the appropriate SGSN in PLMN1. The SGSN decapsulates the packets and delivers them to the MS.